the president of South Africa, President Ramaphosa, as his team leaders about the situation of the country. He was not happy. Now, he now had, Africans can move from one country, or they can migrate from one country to the other. When all these things were going on in his, right there, in his watch, as the president of the country, what efforts has he done to clamp down on those people that are terrorizing the foreigners? Because I'll put it that way, they are terrorizing the foreigners. He never said anything. He was happy with what they were doing. Instead of them to come out to do it themselves, they now send their boys to carry out the operation. Because that's what I see. Because one of the conveners, the rig leaders that were involved in all this, in the act of xenophobic, what was it called, in South Africa there, clamoring that foreigners must leave their country. There are 3 in number. One of them actually said all these things they were doing is risky. Risky in the sense that it is politicians that are doing all this, sent them to do what they are doing. And by the end of the day, if their aims and ambitions were not achieved, it's a very big problem to them. They might go to jail. You see that? Now one of them has hands off, and is no more interested. I guess he has saw the level of damage that they've caused in their country. Unemployment have increasing. Some other countries have decided not to do business with them again. Example is Botswana. They used to be the one that used to supply them electricity, but now they've decided they are not going to give them anymore. Now they've switched now to Mozambique, begging the president of Mozambique to help them with power supply. All these are the problems, the implications of what the results of that xenophobic attacks on foreigners. So now he was giving speech, begging African countries to help the crisis in South Africa. It's more than then they should come and they should be brothers and sisters. But he was there. He was there when all this shenanigans was going on among the citizens, looting and killing, destroying people's properties. I wish you well. I pray that they listen to you, because I believe that by the time Nigeria as a nation, by the time Nigeria will decide on what to do on you people, of course Nigeria can't do anything. Can Nigeria do something? I don't think so. Because our presidents, the only way they acted, they reacted as well, because when some delegates from South Africa actually came to Nigeria to come and see him, they were shunned, snubbed them off indirectly. That's just part of it. But would that snubbing of a thing, will it bring back the losses of lives of Nigerians in South Africa, their properties? I will stop here and let people to watch and hear what you have to say. Watch.
Migration itself is an essential part of the African story. Throughout history, across every continent, people have moved in search of opportunity or safety, and they will continue to do so. We must not conflate lawful migrants, refugees, and asylum seekers with people who enter or remain in countries in violation of immigration laws. Nor should migrants or people from outside the country be made to be scapegoats for unemployment, crime, or shortcomings in the delivery of public services. Our response must combine firm, fair, and effective immigration management with an unwavering defense of human dignity and the rule of law. Our task is to ensure that migration is managed in a manner that affirms the rights and dignity of all people, that respects international conventions, and that advances social cohesion and the unity of Africans as a whole. And this is where we also say that we need to work together, and we call upon various countries on our continent to work with us to address this challenge. South Africa cannot solve this challenge alone. It needs to work together with its sister countries and with the peoples of our continent to address this problem. We have seen how unmanaged migration can undermine the sovereignty, the security and social order of countries, not only South Africa, but many other countries. As African countries, we have to acknowledge and address the conditions that drive migration in the first place. We need to work together, as I said, to address issues like conflict, instability, governance failures, poverty, and social discord. We need to create equal economic opportunities across the African continent. But we also need to silence the guns, which is a very clear and firm position that has been taken by the African Union. We need to build inclusive institutions of governance. We must work for a future where Africans are able to migrate out of choice and not necessity. And we call on this Pan-African Parliament to take up the mantle of leadership, to be at the forefront of finding sustainable solutions to this issue. When I met the members of the Bureau before coming to this open session, they said, Mr. President, will you articulate what this Parliament should do in addition to what it is called upon to do? And it is this. This is this issue of migration that this Parliament must give leadership to. This Parliament must address this issue in a way that brings us all together, to work together. The measure of Africa's development will not only be the ease with which Africans can move across borders, it will also be the extent to which every African country offers all its citizens sufficient opportunity, dignity, and hope. As the honorable members of this Parliament, as the collective leadership of this continent, we have a responsibility to build a better Africa. It cannot and should not be the responsibility of the heads of state or certain countries only. It must be a collective responsibility, and all of us who are seated here are leaders, and that is why we were elected and chosen to come and represent our peoples of Africa. We have a responsibility to build a continent that is at peace with itself, where conflicts are resolved through dialogue and diplomacy.
And what do you think about all this? Drop your comment at the comment section. Please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.